By the time you've got a 30-year-old man stripping a woman naked in public, inside that man, there is a 20-year-old young man who watched somebody strip a woman naked in public. Good morning, this is your Monday 707. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Victor Machoka and we're still talking about foundations. We talked about how you build foundations. You want to make sure that you're focusing on the important things. And most of the time what people will pay for is not what's important. What is actually important is what you bury in the ground. That forms the foundation for what people are paying for. When guys are looking at get-rich-quick schemes, those people will always go for the fruit and they want to sell the fruit. Life is actually full of a lot of brokers. Just look at it, really. Producers in life are very few, but brokers are a dime a dozen. There are so many. And when we talk about foundations, these are things that cannot be seen. So let's take it a bit deeper today. This week we had an unfortunate incident where we had some motorbike riders who unfortunately got into an altercation with a woman and they decided that they are going to debase her by trying to strip her naked. This heinous act was condemned by the president. It was condemned by all the cabinet secretaries and human rights activists. Guys came out and condemned, and guys are like, no, this is wrong, and everybody's talking about it, and that's okay. I mean, it's important that we're talking about it. Let the police deal with those guys. Let the police take those guys into custody. May they face the full force of the law. But here's the problem, guys. Let's take a step back. Which grown man just wakes up, comes out of his house and says, today I'm going to strip a woman naked in public? I mean, people don't do that, right? My point is this, we're talking about foundations. Guys, the most important foundation that you can lay for yourself and we can lay for society is a mental foundation. Everything changes in the mind before it changes. Everything. There is no thing that a human being can do without having thought about it before. Instincts are a function of what you have programmed your mind to produce and reproduce without thinking. By the time you've got a 30-year-old man stripping a woman naked in public, inside that man, there is a 20-year-old young man who watched somebody strip a woman naked in public. Probably on a video or some movie or something like that. Inside that 20-year-old man, there is a 10-year-old boy who talked about stripping a woman naked in public. There is a progression. By the time you're reaping the fruits of actions, there is always a seed that was planted inside. There is a seed of a thought. There is a mental framework that person used to make that decision. We as society need to step back and ask ourselves, how is it that a group of men, 10, 15, 20 men, were thinking the same thing? The same wicked thought of stripping a woman in public? What seed was planted in their mind? What other wicked thing are these men thinking about that is just waiting for an opportunity? And I'm not saying that to condemn them. My point is this. What seed are we planting in the minds of our young boys and our young girls? We as parents need to ask ourselves, because before that action manifests, there is a movie, there is a program, there is a YouTube video, there is a book that somebody has read, there is a conversation that they are having, there is a friend that they are having around them that is planting those thoughts inside. Unless we introspect as a society, let me tell you, we will continue to condemn the action, which is a fruit. We will continue to condemn the fruit, but the fact of the matter is, the fruit is just a manifestation of what we planted. Guys, let's get back. Step back as a society and ask ourselves, what are we planting in the minds of our young people? And not just society, yourself. You are a function of everything that goes in through your ears, through your eyes. That's the inlet to your mind. Your mouth, what comes out of your mouth and what you do with your hands is only a fruit of what was already planted inside. That's why we call it brainchild. The thing that you come up with is your brainchild. That's the thing that you have incubated in your mind and eventually has led to a certain action. The most valuable foundation that you can lay for yourself, guys, is your mind. What are you thinking of? What are you incubating in your head? That's why they call it intellectual property. It is the most valuable piece of real estate that the humankind has. And you as a person, everybody who is sane, has got that as their most valuable piece of real estate. Your mind. What are you building on your mind? What are you building when you're sitting at night by yourself on your laptop? What are you building early in the morning when you wake up? What are you building when you've got those earphones plugged into your ears half the day? What are you building, guys? That's the foundation. When the opportunity comes, you're simply going to build what you set the foundation for. When we see this building that is leaning on another building, that building is not a manifestation of poverty. I mean, look at that building. This is not a manifestation of poverty. This is not a manifestation of ignorance. This is a manifestation of somebody who planted a shortcut in their minds. And at some point, in this particular case, at this point, guess what? Not just this person, but the neighbors are reaping the fruits of this person's weak foundation. Your foundation is going to have an impact on the people around you.